Hello everybody, welcome to Math 1350, more on Math, Chapter 8, Section 2. Section 2 deals with equals, relations, and equations. A relation is called a one-to-one correspondence between each member of the domain. Those are the x values. And each member of the range, or the y values. So one-to-one, and another way of writing it is 1-to-1. I'm going to write that way if no one. It's easier. 1:1. Which means this. In my domain, there's my x values, and here's my range. These are my y values. You have a function. A function exists if it's one-to-one. So for any member in the domain, a correspondence, think of a male. Can person A the exact same letter to more than one person in the range? No. I mean, if you have one letter, you can make copies of it. Copies can go, but each one has to go to an individual person. Those are relations. If one person if A sends to two people, then that's not one-to-one. So one from person A, one from person X to one person Y. This is not good. In other words, think of relationships. If person A is dating two people, is he in a one-to-one relationship? No. Is B into a one-to-one relationship? Yeah. B is only dating one person. B's in a relationship, but the person they're dating isn't. So N and C. But we only care about going this way, from left to right. So let's look at these things. An equation. We have an expression versus equation. The difference is this. Expressions, you simplify. Equations, you solve. You combine like terms. That's a B. So in expressions, you combine like terms, and equations, you solve for x. So, in other words, what you can do before you do anything, if there's an equal sign, then you're solving for something. There has to be a letter and a number. Expressions do not have equal signs. So let's look at these homework assignments. There's an equal sign. So we have x minus 5 equals 23. This is redundant. I mean, once we see an equal sign, we know it means solve. But it says solve the equation. In other words, we're not done until x is by itself. X minus 5 equals 23. So how do we get rid of 5? So what we have to do is there's a negative 5 here. To get rid of that, we have to add 5 to both sides. That becomes 0. 23 plus 5 is 28. So the answer is 1, A. Two x plus 5 equals x plus 21. If you have x's on both sides of the equal sign, this is important because we'll try to avoid using negatives. So you have x's on both sides. First thing, always move the smaller x to the larger x. So here for 2. This is 2x. This one has a 1 in front of it. So 1x is smaller than that. So how do I get rid of 1x? By subtracting 1x. It's a process of opposites. So those cancel. 2 minus 1 is 1x. Bring down everything else. Here, there's only 1x on one side. Move the non-x to the other side. So subtract 5 from both sides. So those cancel. So I have x equals 21 minus 5 is 16. Now the reason you do this, move the smaller to the larger, is you'll always have a positive answer. You'll always have a positive answer. 15, let's see, 3x plus 2 equals 15x minus 5. Typically what people like to do is have the x on the left-hand side, but that's where the problem occurs. Move the smaller to the larger. Since 3 is smaller than 15, I move there. 15 minus 3 is 12. Now, x is on one side, move everything that's not x to the other side. Process of opposites. So that's a negative 5, you have to add 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And get rid of the 12. This is 12 times x. Opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide 12 both sides. So now I can put x on this side. Let's see what you have to do if you moved it the other way. So let's move, you want to move the 15 on this side. So it says a positive, so I have to subtract 15x from both sides. So those cancel, so we have a negative 5. There's a positive. So 3 minus 15. 15 is bigger, so it's negative. 15 minus 3 is 12x. Yeah. So we have a negative in front of there. Get rid of the 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 12x equals, they're both negative, so the answer is negative. So add numbers. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, again, try never ever to divide by negatives. It seems like a very easy thing to do, but more mistakes happen that way. Do it in 2 steps. Remember, all the time I deal with signs differently than numbers. Since this negative is in front of the x, I want to get rid of it. So across the entire equation, on both sides, everything, just change your signs. If you want a mathematical reason, I'm multiplying every number by -1. Negative times negative is a positive. 1 times 12 is 12. Negative times negative is a positive. 1 times 7 is 7. Again, that's boring. So I just change everything. Now all I have to do is divide by 12. You get the same answer, but you had to have one extra step. Also, let's say we had this. Again, worry about the x's first. Don't worry about the numbers. Always move this, since we have x's on both sides, always move smaller to the larger. This one's -3, this one's -12. -12 is smaller. Smaller means that it's to the left. So -12 is smaller than 3, or -3. So I have to add 12 to both sides. So those cancel. 12 minus 3 is 9x plus 2. Those cancel. Equals -5. X's by itself, get rid of the non-x's. Subtract 2 from both sides. They're both negative. 5 plus 2 is 7. And now, since I want to get x by itself, these are multiplied, I have to divide. So x is equal to -7 over 9. So that's the whole purpose of is move the smaller to the larger. You don't have to worry about signs anymore. Back to the homework. (5x plus 15 equals 4x plus 100. 5 and 4. 4 is smaller, so I get rid of that first. So 4's cancel. 5 plus, oh, that's minus, I'm subtracting. 5 minus 4 is 1x. Bring everything else down. Those cancel, so it's 100. There's a plus 15, so I subtract 15 from both sides. So I have 1x, which is just x. 100 minus 15 is 85. So it's A. (30 minus x equals 4x plus 5. Again, x is on both sides. -1x, positive 4. -1x is smaller. So I add 1x to both sides. But it's a negative in the front of that one. Those cancel, leaving me 30. 4 plus 5, plus 1 is 5x plus 5. I'll bring this down. So I have to get rid of the plus or minuses first. So I subtract 5 from both sides. 30 minus 5 is 25 equals 5x. More space up over there. Now to get x by itself, since these are multiplied, I divide both sides by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5 equals x. So x is equal to 5. C. 9 times 2x plus 5 plus 7, 2x plus 5 equals 144. All right. A couple ways of doing it. The easiest way, remember, order of operations. Can you do anything inside the parentheses? No. So we have to get rid of the parentheses. Since there's a coefficient, we use distributivity. Remember, that's a. You have a plus or minus inside the parentheses and the coefficient. Whatever is out in front, multiply it to everything inside the parentheses. So 9, positive times positive is positive. 9 times 2 is 18. X. Positive times positive is positive. 9 times 5 is 45. Positive times positive is positive. 7 times 2 is 14. X. Positive times positive is positive. 7 times 5 is 35. Equals 144. Whenever you get rid of parentheses, next step should always be combine like terms. So here's 18x plus 14x. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 32x. To get rid of those. 45 plus 35. They're both positive. 4 plus 3 is 7. 5 plus 5 is 10. So it's 80. Equals 144. You're solving for x. So subtract 80 from both sides. So 4 minus 0 is 4. 14 minus 8 is 6. Divided by 3. Okay. It's not 3, it's 32. So it's 32x. So divide by 32. 32 goes into 64 twice. The answer is A. I'm sorry, everybody. Got a brain fart there. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 474. Remember, 3 consecutive integers. The sum, so we're adding them. The first one is x. The next one after that is x plus 1. Then x plus 2. Together they equal 474. Remember, if x is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 2 is 7, 5, 6, 7. So that's 3 consecutive integers. If it was odd integers, it would be x, x plus 2, x plus 4, or even integers, same equation. So solve for x. X plus x plus x, there are 3 x's. 1 plus 2 is 3. Solve for x, subtract 3 from both sides. So we have 3x equals 471. Divide 3x equals 471 divided by 3. First off, is 471 divisible by 3? Remember how we figured that out? If you add the digits, 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Is 12 divisible by 3? Yes, so that means 471 is divisible by 3. 3 goes into 4 once, with 1 left over. 3 goes into 17 5 times, with 3 times 5 is 15, so there's 2 left over. 3 goes into 21 7 times. So that's the first number. X is 157. The next one is 158. The last one's 159. So the answer is C. Consider the following. 1 times 1 matrix is that, 2 times 2, and 3 times 3 is that. How many matchsticks are needed for a 9 by 9? So, a 1 by 1, it's 1 across, 1 up. It uses 4. A 2 by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It uses 12. And a 3 by 3 uses 24. Now let's look at there's a pattern here. So for the 1 by 1, for the horizontal ones, this is horizontal, this is vertical. It's 2 horizontals, 2 verticals, 3 horizontals, 3 verticals. How many sticks are needed? For each horizontal, there are 2 sticks that are needed. Alright, so that's 2 times 2 is 4. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, for the next one, for the 2 by 2 matrix, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 horizontal and 6 vertical. Ooh, it's not. So 6 plus 6 is 12. Let's see if that works for the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 12 plus 12 is 24. Okay, we're getting closer. We're seeing a pattern here. So how do we go from 2 to 6? From 3 to 12? From 1 to 2, 2 to 6? So the way it apparently it looks is 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 times 3 equals 6. That's for the second one. 3 times 4 equals 12. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2, so 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 24. Alright, so now we see a pattern. This is the size of the matrix. This is the number of sticks. So for the first one, for the horizontal, we need 2 sticks. And for the vertical, we need 2 sticks. For the next one, for the horizontal, we have 1, 2, 3 pairs of sticks. And same with the vertical. 1, 2, 3 pairs of sticks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there are 4 groups of sticks. So whatever the number n times n matrix is, n plus 1, n plus 1. So this is n, this is n plus 1. This is n, this is n plus 1. And then we multiply them and add them together. So let's check what we did. A 2 by 2 matrix. 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1. So it's 2 by 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 6 plus 6 is 12. Yep. So if we had a 9 by 9 matrix, so it will be 9 plus 1, 9 plus 1. So it's 9 times 10, 9 times 10. 90, 90, add those together, I get 180. So I'm going to need 180 sticks for that one. Look for patterns, trial and error. All right, that's it for section 2. Good luck, everybody.